All right, we're going to get started here. Good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending where you are listening in from. Thank you for joining our channel webinar for May. First of all, on behalf of the Campango family, I sincerely wish you, your teams, your loved ones, your friends, health and safety during this unique and trying period in our history. Hope everyone is doing well and coping with shelter in place, or as we explore opening up our economy, that everyone stays safe and smart. So for those of you that are new to Campango's foundational webinar series and did not get the chance to register for part one last month about integrated customer support through Salesforce Service Cloud, please just message me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email, and I'll be sure to send you a direct link to that recording on our YouTube page, and I can also answer any questions you may have. We're always looking for ways to improve the way we educate and enable our partners, so I'm always all ears if you have any feedback on how to improve these sessions and to make them as impactful as we can for you, the partner. Just as a heads up, we'll be holding part 3 of this series next month and highlighting how Pardot and Community Cloud provide powerful marketing automation and customer and partner community functionality to the world's top CRM platform. However, today we're going to be discussing Salesforce Sales Cloud and how it enables not only sales teams, which is probably what you generally think of when you think Sales Cloud, but also service teams as well. As a reminder, my name is Jared Tunn, Channel Manager for Campango. Joining me again today is my colleague and technical Salesforce expert, Dan Nolan, who will present some great case studies that present real-life examples of the solutions and topics that we're going to be discussing today. So Dan, thanks again for joining.
You bet. Thanks, Jared.
And what we'll cover today quick is dynamics of a strong sales service unit, how Sales Cloud enables support agents to upsell and cross-sell, applying these Sales Clouds and Service Cloud use cases. Dan's going to help with that. And then how Sales Cloud allows support agents to qualify and generate leads and opportunities. And finally, how to identify Sales Cloud opportunities in your current client base. Just a quick Campango overview. We always like to do this just in case we have any new partners listening in. We are headquartered in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Also have offices in Chicago, New York, and Atlanta, as well as remote workers spread across the country. We have a team of over 50, approaching 60 now experts with over 100 Salesforce certifications. We were acquired by ScanSource, for those of you that don't know, back in 2018. So being a sister company to Intelisys and part of the ScanSource family really gives us a really great unified front to provide you as partners with great full spectrum services for your end customers. The industries we generally focus on: manufacturer, high tech, ProServe. I'm not going to read all of these to you. Our core products as well. And then really the core services that we focus on is implementation and optimization of Salesforce. We are a Salesforce only shop. So we won't be focusing on Dynamics or Sugar or Zendesk or any other CRMs unless customers want to migrate from them to the Salesforce platform. Another key thing that we're really focusing in on right now is Lightning migrations. Very important for your customers to explore if they haven't already, as well as custom app development and third-party integrations. And what we're here to help you as the partners with is providing a full suite of customer experience solutions, really rounding out all the great suppliers in the channel. We really complete that ProServe piece on the CRM side, specifically with Salesforce. And having those discussions allows you to sell into new business units within your customers. We want to enable you guys to be talking to leadership in marketing, sales, operations, customer service, and expanding those conversations that you have in our customers, which at the end of the day makes you stickier as that trusted technological advisor. Also, at the end of the day, we obviously want to help you guys make more money, and with our comp model, we do that. And quickly to illustrate that engagement model, again, please call or schedule some time with me if you want to get into this further. I know I'm going to go through this fairly quickly, so I'm happy to expound more on it and answer other questions that you may have. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you want to schedule some time with me. You are all obviously familiar with your role, supplier's role, and Intelisys' role managing this great ecosystem that we all reside in. So it's really about, where does Campango come in? And we connect a lot of the dots that allow you as partners to help provide these 360-degree experiences for your customers, employees, and their customers. And here you see us engaging with you, the sales partners, sometimes via the Intelisys channel managers or SEs. Sometimes they'll make introductions, obviously. Maybe some of you have personally experienced that. And then obviously, after some initial conversations with you, qualifying that opportunity, getting some high-level information about the customer, we're going to utilize you to get that introduction and to help that scoping process with the customer. At the appropriate time, if we're not dealing with a customer that has existing licensing, we're going to get Salesforce involved at the appropriate time and help manage that licensing conversation. We're going to want to make sure that the customer at the end of the day is getting the appropriate licensing, the right level, the right products, and we can also help have those conversations about making sure they're getting any appropriate discounts if Salesforce is offering them. And obviously, Salesforce, they exist, for those that don't know, to solely develop and sell their software. They maybe do 1/10 of 1% of the implementations of their actual solutions. They rely on an ecosystem of partners like Campango to do that. So that licensing conversation and payment is a separate conversation directly with Salesforce for the end users. Again, we can help direct that conversation. The end users engage with us directly for the professional services, and then you as partners are going to be making that comp via Intelisys' existing contracts that you have. Again, that was very quick. Please schedule more time with me if you have questions that need to be answered or want to get more in depth with that. So um, now that we've gone over some ways that we can not only increase your commissions, but provide more streamlined end-to-end solutions for your clients, let's talk about the current evolving role of customer service agents. 93% of customers are likely to make repeat purchases with companies who offer excellent customer services. This is from a HubSpot blog. And notice that this statistic reads customer service and not interaction with an account executive or sales reps. That means that if you leverage your customer service team in the appropriate ways, you're setting them to build long-term, relationships and building loyalty with your customers. And according to a separate poll by Gartner, 89% of businesses compete through the level of customer service experience that they're able to deliver. So where does that all begin? More often, we're seeing customer service teams being expected to contribute to the bottom line revenue of the company that they work for. And there's really 4 major reasons for that. Number one, and we've acknowledged this and talked about this before, and you'll hear it from us again and again, it's that customer service agents are quite literally the face of your brand. They're the ones that are on the front lines, leading with empathy, fostering those human relationships with their customers to provide instant support when the customers are in need. They're at the heart of that customer experiences. Not the CEO, not the VP of sales, not the VP of operations or service. It's those service agents that are at the heart of that experience. And number two, as consumers, we've been programmed to evaluate a brand journey based on how fast the ambassadors of that brand can respond and resolve the problem that we're bringing to them. For a lot of service teams, both essential and non-essential, operations are now running 24/7, 365 days a year, Monday through Sunday. We've been active participants in the age of immediacy. Think about what we expect from Amazon now. They've tailored us to think that anything beyond 2-day delivery is just a crazy long time to wait for something that we've purchased. And with mature solutions that are introducing AI chatbots and things like additional capabilities through that, HubSpot did a research that says 90% of customers rate an immediate response as important or very important when they have a customer service question, which makes sense. I think we can all relate to that. And something in addition to that is 60% of customers actually define immediate as 10 minutes or less. That's where things get a little, more tricky. Is that what do we think is immediate? Some people might want a response within a minute. Some might think a callback within a few hours is sufficient. But 10 minutes is what a majority of customers are expecting, or less. So that means that on top of contact centers needing to implement and maintain round-the-clock services, they also need agents and agent teams that are empowering entire sales teams to close more deals faster. Um, And let's do this as an illustration. Let's say that you have a subscriber to a Dollar Shave Club. We always get those ads. I'm sure you do too. And they reportedly have a value of $1 billion now. So they've clearly had success with their model and their brand. Let's say you call them to cancel because you just really miss buying them at Target. Shaving products in general. An agent answers the phone, hears you out, but then just prior to canceling, they let you know that they're releasing a new line of shaving cream for just $1 more in each monthly shave kit. Well, that turns out it's cheaper than Target, so you commit to the higher subscription price. That's upselling. So the next day, you receive a follow-up email from that same agent with confirmation of your new subscription and a promo code to try a new Dollar Shave edition after 30% off. I'm sorry, an aftershave for 30% off. So let's say you're out of aftershave, so use this coupon. That's cross-selling. At the end of the day, agents are able to make this happen when they're given the chance to operate using insights from previous interactions. So connecting those sales teams' experiences, connecting those service teams' experience allows that ecosystem where it's easy to cross-sell and upsell, which is just going to relate, end up with higher revenues for the customer in general. And all of this is to say that opportunities to create and grow a high-performing sales organization through strong customer support is a team dynamic that is certainly plentiful. That is certainly also still very much in need. And here's what winning dynamics are compromised of. It's going to be access to these powerful solutions that automate day-to-day processes according to aligned revenue objectives, that shared 360-degree view into 100% of that consumer data, whether it's sourced by sales, marketing, customer service, or a different department, and insights into those other teams' interactions with that customer. So here we are talking about selling the way you want and connecting to customers the way you want, and how Sales Cloud helps enable that. First of all, this is a product that is trusted by over 100,000 companies, and there's a reason for that. It helps streamline the business processes across sales marketing service. It integrates easily with other solutions and tools. For those that are not familiar with the App Exchange, there are literally thousands of different solutions, apps, tools, bolt-ons that natively pair to the Salesforce platform, some free of charge, some for a licensed fee. Salesforce or Sales Cloud also helps shorten deal life cycles with that lead and opportunity management functionality. It advances more accurate revenue forecasting, increases lead and opportunity generation, customized real-time reporting and dashboards. As someone who's a user of Salesforce, I could definitely speak to how much I love using the various reports that you can easily build out in Salesforce and building dashboards that give you just this great single screen view of so many different metrics that you can customize and tailor to what you want to see. And of course, Salesforce being Salesforce, there's that constant innovation and updates as long as they're on that Lightning platform. So again, going back to that Lightning migration conversation, it's important because all of that innovation, that 3 times a year updates, the different products and clouds they're adding on, all the various technical updates, that all happens now on Lightning Cloud, or I'm sorry, on the Lightning platform and no longer on Classic. So keep that in mind. Especially when you're hearing about customers that might still be on that Classic platform. How Sales Cloud helps. Turning those service calls into opportunities. And this is what we're really here to talk about today, because this is outside that normal view of Sales Cloud helping sales teams. What Sales Cloud can do for service calls is give you that greater agent visibility into the sales process and past customer communications, increase alignment on the customer goals prior to sales service handoffs, because you can connect with that information that you already have logged in from past interactions. They're able to drive the agent's ability to identify key moments in that customer lifecycle that leads to cross-sell or upsell opportunities, similar to what we just discussed in that mock example that I gave. And it also helps streamline feedback loops to help sales improve their positioning based off of feedback they're receiving from customer service interactions. It's going to empower agents to generate customer testimonials and referrals. It's going to boost job satisfaction levels and eliminate agent turnover and burnout, which I think we all are familiar with how high of turnover rates can be seen within contact center environments. So giving them tools that allow them to be much more empowered and feel much more satisfied with the job they're doing is really, really powerful tool for companies because when you have high turnover rates, especially with customer service, the costs of that training, that retraining, and mitigating those losses is incredibly high. And now, folks, if there's one slide you're going to pay attention to, let it be this one. Sales and service are the world's most powerful couple when it comes to running a business. And according to research done by Bain & Company, increasing customer retention rates by even just 5% can often increase profits by 25 to 95%. So just by increasing retention rates by 5% can often lead to nearly a doubling of profits. But far too often, sales and service functions are separate, disparate functions within an organization. So sales brings in new customers and hands them off to service teams, but there's little to no communication and follow-up between those two departments. So the way this business is not only outdated, but costly and inefficient. And it's especially true for businesses that are using contact center solutions based in the cloud that are missing that CRM component. That's really low-hanging fruit to touch on. So if there's a contact center CCaaS solution that you're exploring with the customer, chances are there's a CRM conversation to be had. And honestly, even the best CCaaS solutions out there are likely going to lack some of this functionality, that 360-degree view, recommended email responses to create opportunities, those great robust reporting analytical tools. And if you want to add on that Sales Cloud Einstein functionality that provides really cool suggestive tools for agents to help with cross-selling and upselling. I don't want to ramble any further, so I really want to illustrate some real-life examples for you guys of how we've used Sales Cloud at Campango to give our customers and their sales and service teams different solutions and tools that allow them to scale and provide fantastic experiences for the customers' employees. So I'm going to hand it over to Dan, and he's going to go over some case studies with you guys. So Dan, take it away.
Thanks, Jared. Appreciate it. Yeah, so like Jared mentioned, just want to walk through a couple of good examples of real-life customers and how bringing their sales, service, and marketing teams together has really improved their customer experience and their business overall. So the first one that we have here is a company called LabAids. And for over 5 decades, LabAids has been a national leader in science curricula development and distribution. Their mission is really to help build foundation for hands-on, research-based scientific experiences for middle schools, high school students across the country. So when LabAids approached Campango, they wanted to partner with us on a fairly massive digital transformation that at a high level would involve Sales Cloud, Pardot, along with service, so that we could do some process reengineering across all of their sales, service, marketing, and that included us doing some data cleansing and migration. One of their biggest challenges was an underlying layer of growing mistrust between the departments, between sales, marketing, and service associates. And really that was due to teams not having that access or visibility into the complete customer relationship. And so for that specific problem, Campango partnered with LabAids and their web development partner to create 3 different connected support forms on the LabAid website so that we could route forms to the appropriate support teams based on the customer need. And those 3 teams were equipment support, tech portal support, and general customer service for all of their other inquiries. And from the backend in Salesforce, all 3 sales teams were now empowered to manage teacher communications and case management within Salesforce using Sales Cloud. And so the results of that is now LabAids has introduced a way to track service activity, but they've done it in a systematic way. And in addition to creating that 360-degree view of the customer to see sales, marketing, and service teams, that they can now see that for all the teachers who inherit classrooms, where they only have some of the science equipment that they need to teach their curriculum in full. And so they would submit additional requests through those forms, through the LabAid website. And that was resulting in additional new sales opportunities for service reps to upsell or cross-sell products for the upcoming school year, that they would see kind of where the gaps were in products that they had previously owned and could see their history and were able to recommend an upsell to give them the complete solution. So I think this is a great example of the power of Salesforce really connecting the teams internally and giving great results, a great customer experience on the outside. And then the next one, Jared, is one of the largest real estate companies here in the US. And so they manage a network of a few 100,000 real estate agents across the US. And when we started working with them, this is the same company we had talked about in the last previous webinar. So again, if you missed that, talking about the service implementation we did for them, definitely reach out to Jared for the link. But when we approached them to do their Salesforce implementation, they had their sales and service teams working in different systems entirely. So I believe they were in Microsoft Dynamics from a CRM standpoint and Zendesk for service cases. The sales teams were unaware of any service history, so things that had happened to their customer in the past, or even open cases, current issues that they might have contacted them about. They were just blind to those issues, and so it's always a challenge to try to sell to your customer when they have open issues that aren't resolved. And on this flip side, the service team was also blind to the account history, so they had no idea how many people would work at that branch, what certifications they had, what their sales goals were for the year, what their payment history's been. So there's a lot of disconnect between those two systems. And so with us, again, like I mentioned, we came in and implemented Sales and Service Cloud, and that provided some additional capabilities, including digital engagement. So now gave their customers, their real estate agents out in the field, additional ways to reach out and get that kind of immediate service that Jared had mentioned earlier, using live chat, SMS, Facebook Messenger. And all of that history is tracked within Salesforce on that account and contact record. So it really enables the 360-degree view for the customer. And with an open security model in Salesforce, what that means is that if you're a service member, you can look at the account and you can see all of the accounts that are in the system, all of their contacts, the notes history, emails sent, even if it wasn't from yourself, right? So if a salesperson sent that message, you would see it as a support agent and vice versa. So the results there, their sales team had a dedicated team really designed around account management and really growing those real estate offices to be bigger and more productive to grow sales. And so they would work with those agents on a regular basis to have yearly goals, quarterly goals, and really be striving for how to improve their franchise. And when they would call into service to get support on any issues they had, the service agents were able to see those exact goals and all of the notes and the history of that conversation that they've had. And so they really make the agent feel like they're just part of the family, right? That being a franchise owner for that big brand, everybody that they talk to, whether it's their sales account manager or their service team member, all has an understanding of their business and the history that they have and what they're striving to achieve. So it's really created a unified approach, which has made the partnership strong and makes the retention of those franchises much higher. So yeah, that covers our two examples.
Thanks, Dan. I'm always a fan of getting actual tangible use cases that people can relate to and hear about versus us just talking at you guys about what we do. So thanks for providing that first case or first person view insight.
You bet.
Just a few things to wrap up here. Some qualifying questions for you guys. This is just kind of a very high level list of things you can ask. But again, we always say, please get us involved early. Just schedule some time with us, call us up, and let's just discuss this. And we can usually figure out very quickly, whether or not it's going to be a good fit for us. Otherwise, we can do some more educating and enabling about what is, if you guys are having further questions about that. Lots of materials to share with you guys on our websites, Mindtelesys, ICSU. But again, I'm going to hammer home this point. Our favorite process is just talking with you guys, talking through any questions you have, talking through potential opportunities that you think might be available within your existing base, and helping you prospect for future customers. So I know, Marino, you had a question, qualifying questionnaire. We have a lot of collateral also that we can send out to you guys. It's available on our website, and ICSU and my Intellisys as well. But I'm more than happy to send stuff to you guys directly, especially if there's certain industries or types of customers that you'd like a relatable use case or or experience in. Happy to send that over. Marina, looks like I'm hitting on your questions as you're asking them here. So, um, so with that, I don't think there's any other questions. I don't see any. So everyone, thank you again for joining us today. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good luck getting out there into the real world again as we hopefully start to open up safely here. And please don't hesitate to reach out and continue the conversation with us. Hope everyone has a great rest of your week.